The moment has finally arrived with a very massive thank you to Elizabeth from booktube channel Lizzie Faye Loves Books. Today, I am revealing my 2025 SAS list. Welcome or welcome back to Mr. Francy reads. Let's go!
I do make this promise, every breath I take will be used now to sing your praise. And with a loving guarantee that even if we part, I will hold you close in a thankful heart.
Yes, hello and welcome or welcome back to Mr. Francy, the channel, aka Mr. Francy Reads. I am so touched that you have chosen again to join me today because today I get to go through my 2025 SAS list and talk about all the amazing series that are on there. Now, just very briefly, for those who don't know, a SAS list is something that was created by the wonderful Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books, and it is where you create a list of series that you plan to start, continue on with, or finish by the end of the year. And let me tell you, for those of you who have never heard of a SAS list before, it has helped me so much. As someone who has been on booktube for next month, it will be 6 years. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, SAS lists have made such a massive difference to my life. I have found a way, finally, that works for me to get through series. Either get through them, get up to a certain point in them, whatever it is. And I just owe so much to Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books. Elizabeth, thank you a million times. Thank you, because it has just changed my life. And so literally, basically what I do is I write out the list of the series that I want to get through. And then next to that series, I will manually, I will type it out. So there's a digital copy, but I'll also have a manual one. Manually, I will type the numbers of every single book. So for example, I've already read Haley Powell, so that series there. So we'll use that as an example. Let's say that I have Haley Powell on my SAS list. It would say Haley Powell Food and Cocktail Mystery Series, and then next to that it will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. And then each time I've read that book, I put a nice little X through it, and then when I'm up to where I want to get up to, I put a very satisfying cross through that and go, yay, this series is done. And it's not a pressure-filled thing either, and I'm sure that's not Elizabeth's intention either. It's just a situation of putting those series onto a list that you'd like to start, continue on with, or or finish by the end of the year. And I think part of the reason for me, and part of the reason why Elizabeth may have created it as well, I don't know, don't quote me, but I think maybe, is because it's a great way to ensure you don't forget to do it. Because how often do we come across these amazing books and we don't write them down, and then we totally forget? I mean, I'm so guilty. We totally forget that we even wanted to start them. A great example is in March of 2020, I saw a book which, that series is on my SAS list, so we'll get to it in a moment. But I saw a book and I thought, oh my gosh, this looks so amazing. I definitely have to keep this, on the back burner, keep it in mind, because I definitely want to read it. And I finally read it last month. It took me over 4 years, basically, to get to this freaking book because I had forgotten. So, yeah. Wonderful thing. Alright, that is way too long an intro, so we're going to jump right on in. Here we go. Okay, my 2025 SAS list. I will put a book up on the screen to represent the entire series. We're going to slightly turn the camera, just a moment. There we go. I am now over this side, so I can put the books up there. Okay, so I have divided my SAS list into 4 sections. I already had the number 4 on my fingers, but had to double check. My written out SAS list is literally right there behind the camera. Into 4 sections, and they are purely divided into sections of how many books I need to read in that series, or that I want to. Need makes it sound like it's a pressure thing. It's absolutely not. How many books I want to get to in that series. So let's begin. Category number 1 is 2 to 3 books. Okay, and we're going to start with the book that from the series with the book that I was referring to moments ago that I saw in 2020, totally forgot until last month, and that is the School for Good and Evil, and I'm putting up book number 2 on the screen. Book number 1 is the one that took forever for me to get to, and I absolutely loved it. So because I read book 1, I'll be starting here with book number 2. I have 2 books to read, book 2 and book 3, and there's the first one. The next series on my SAS list is the Damned series. Now, this is going to be very interesting. I wonder how many people would also want to put this on their SAS list, but I am someone who loves when fictional authors or fictional writers, whether it be for books, for plays, for theatre, for TV, for movies, whatever it is, represent or show their idea of what either heaven or hell could be. The first time I experienced this was watching Adam Sandler's Little Nicky, and I just loved seeing this fictional representation of actually being in hell and being in heaven. And this series is actually set in hell. Normally I don't say that word this often on my channel at all, but that is what it is. I'm calling a spade a spade. So I don't know a whole lot about the series, but what I do know is that in book 1, we are there. We're downstairs. And really, really intrigued to see the world building that this author does come up with for that series. The next series that's on my SAS list is one that I have heard so many good things about, and I need to read more of their works, and that is the Emergency Dessert Squad series, and I believe it is by Laura Bradford. I'm going to double check. Yes, it is. For background information on my manual SAS list, I did not put the authors this year. I should have. But anyway, yeah, it's by Laura Bradford. I read her Friend for Hire duology. Laura Bradford, we need more. We need more. Come on, please. Hashtag more Friend for Hire. But in the meantime, it doesn't mean I can't read more from Laura Bradford. And oh my gosh, do I love my culinary cozies. There are... so in the Damned series, I'm reading book 1 and 2. In the Emergency Dessert Squad, there are 3 books in that series. So yes, I will be starting, of course, with book number 1. The next series on my SAS list is the Deadly Reality TV series by C. Commissar. I read book 1, Easy Money, recently, and absolutely it was the horror book for me. I need more from C. Commissar, so I'm going to be starting with book number 2, which I'm sure is up on the screen by now, and I'll be reading books 2, 3, and 4 next year in 2025. The next series is, oh my gosh, a series I am so excited to get to, but I will say I'm not excited to get to the updated editions because apparently they had to change things for this classic series, which you can tell by my reaction. It's like, why leave the classic books and series alone? But anyway, this series was read to me as a child by my grade 2, second year primary school, or if you're American, elementary school teacher. And oh my gosh, first of all, I love that I had a teacher in my second year of primary school who actually would dedicate time to sitting us all down and reading a chapter of a book every day. It was so good. But this book and this series was absolutely amazing. The series is called the Faraway Tree series by Enid Blyton. And basically, we follow 3 characters who have all been renamed. But anyway, in the original work, their names are Jo, Bessie, and Fanny. I nearly said the updated name. We now follow Jo with an E, who didn't have an E to begin with, and Beth instead of Bessie, and Franny, which is closer to my name. But yeah, in my mind, Joe, Bessie, and Fanny, and they live near this enchanted wood, and so I believe actually that the series is actually called the Enchanted Wood series, but anyway, they live near a wood called the Enchanted Wood, and they basically, whenever they go into the Enchanted Wood, there is a wonderful tree called the Faraway Tree that they climb up and meet all these wonderful characters, and then right up at the top of the tree are these different lands, there's a cloud that gets you into different lands that rotate each and every single week. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to go back to this series. I don't know how I'm going to do with the revisions, honestly, because this series has a special place in my heart, but I am very much looking forward to this series, as I am the final series I have in my 2 to 3 books section, which is another series by Enid Blyton that I absolutely love, called the Wishing Chair series. Yeah, there is a character name that is changed in this one. I'm not going to say the character name because I found out recently that that word apparently is a racist word. I never knew it was. I always just viewed this character as having a name, and that was it. Just their name. But their name has been changed to reflect the times. But anyway, the purpose of this series is that we follow Molly and Peter, who in their playroom, which is way out in the back garden, they have a chair that one day sprouts wings and takes them and a friend that they end up finding, who is a pixie. I hope that he's still a pixie in the updated edition. A pixie, and they go off on these wonderful adventures in their wishing flying chair called the Wishing Chair. Alright, let's move on to my 4 to 5 book series, and first up we have new releases. So I did this in 2024 and I want to do it again. There are 4 books that I want to make sure that I read next year. So to have a new releases section on my SAS list will help me to do that. The first one is the most recent Amish candy shop book called Gingerbread Danger. The next one is the most recent Poppy McAllister book, which I think is called Silent Nights Are Murder. The next one is the Christmas Tree Farm series, which I believe is called I'll Be Home for Mischief. And the fourth one is the next Haley Powell book, which is not, we don't know what the title is yet. So yeah, I want to make sure I get to all of those books to make sure that I remain up to date with Cozy Mystery series that I absolutely love. I could have read the Candy Shop, Pop McAllister and Christmas Tree Farm ones already, but decided not to because I want to wait until all 3 of those are available in both physical and audio. Some of these are available already in physical, some of them are already available in audio, but all of them don't have both available yet. So I am waiting, but I am going to be reading at least one of them in January. Next up in my 4 to 5 book section is the Grilled Cheese series. Oh my gosh, very, very excited to get back to this one. This is written by Linda Riley, and I have read book number 1, and I just can't wait to get to book number 2. I will tell you this. With book 1, I haven't read the rest of the series, but with book 1, I highly recommend it. It is so much fun and so cozy and so culinary. But I will say, make sure you buy yourself some cheese, and if you can't have, if you're lactose intolerant, then lactose intolerant cheese. I'm lactose intolerant. And some bread and whatever, because you're gonna wanna make grilled cheeses while you're reading this book. Seriously. It is a situation of happy FOMO where it's like, oh my gosh, I need this now. So make sure you do. I loved book 1 so much and can't wait to continue on with the series. Next up is a series that was inspired for me by the authors that wrote the series. I love the Haley Powell Food and Cocktail Mystery Series, and I'm up to date, but I want to read more from Lee and Hollis, so I will be reading the Maya and Sandra Cozy Mystery Series. There are currently 4 books out in that one. Next up is a series that I've actually been wanting to read for a very long time, and I'm so glad that I'm finally getting to it. Bonus that when it was released, it was a dystopian series, because I love my dystopians. I just always thought of it as a classic series. But anyway, it is the Giver series by Lois Lowry, and you can hear how excited I am. I've been wanting to read this since 2020, and it just hasn't happened. I am so very excited. Apparently, from what I've heard, spoiler free, is that not only is it a dystopian series, but we don't really travel that far in this series, which I love. One thing I don't like about dystopians is we get a great world building in a book 1, and then in book 2, for some reason, our protagonist wants to go and travel away from the area and do other things. My purpose in a dystopian is the world building. If you're traveling somewhere else, that world building can get lost. And so apparently in the Giver series, we remain in that area, which is fantastic. Can't wait. The next series on my list is going to be a buddy read series, so come along and join us. Link to this Discord is in the description, as well as a pinned comment, and that is the Ruthless Boys series by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. This is the prequel series to the Zodiac Academy series. I loved Zodiac Academy, but I've spent way too much time on it, so we'll just move right along. But yeah, I am going to be buddy reading this with my dear friend Amy over on the Discord. We are both very excited to get into this series, and if you want to join us, please do. As I say, link is in the description or a pinned comment. We'd love to have your company. The final series that I'm going to be reading in my 4 to 5 books section is a series called Rainbow Place. This is also another series that I selected because of how much I love the author. Right down there, those tiny black books, is a series called the Housemates series by Jane Northcote. I love that series. I needed more Jane Northcote, and yeah, fortunately for me, he's written a whole other series, so I can't wait to dive in. Okay, to my 6 to 7 books list, and first up we have the Games series by C. Cormissar. I did not read anywhere near enough horror in 2024, and I want to read more. I am a very eclectic reader. I love so many different genres, and one thing that I can really get down upon myself with is not having the experience of reading from such a diverse range of genres. And in this year in 2024, I think I read 2 horrors, one of them which is more a classic than a horror, and so I want to read more horrors. I read Easy Money this year by C. Cormissar and loved it so much that I not only added 1 series from C. Cormissar, which I spoke about earlier, but now 2. And there are 5 books in this series. Nope, there are 6, because in the 6 to 7 series, there are 6 books in that series. Next up, we have another series inspired by an author that I loved this year. So next to the tinier books that where you can see a lot of white there, the ones next to them there is a series called the Vampire Related Crime series by Alice Winters. I loved that. That became my #1 series on my SAS list from this year. So I needed more Alice Winters, and next year I'm going to be reading the Hitman's Guide series by Alice Winters. There are 7 books in that series. All right, next up, I have a Brandon Sanderson list, and it is just much better to say his name because they're all different series that I'm going to be reading from him. I am hosting a buddy read of Brandon Sanderson on my Discord channel, so if you want to join us for that, please do. I know a lot of people out there who want to get stuck into the Cosmere, and we are doing a full-on Cosmere buddy read next year. So if you'd like to join, please do. I will be joining in reading with the books I haven't read yet, but I will not read the books I have already read, but will definitely be involved in the discussions of those ones. So the books I haven't read yet from Brandon Sanderson that are on this list are Wind and Truth, which is book number 5 in the Stormlight Archives. I'll read this in December. Then we have Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. Next we have The Sunlit Man. Next we have Tess and the Emerald Sea, one of the 2. Then we have Defiant, which is a sci-fi series that he's writing. And then we have The Lost Metal, which is book number 7 in the Mistborn series, or book number 4 in Mistborn Era 2, which is going to end Mistborn Era 2, and Brandon Sanderson is going to start working on his Mistborn Era 3 in 2025, which I'm very excited about. So there you go. Next up, we have the another buddy read series, and that is the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown, I believe is his name. But anyway, yes, it is. Why am I guessing and saying no? It is. Another dystopian series that I've heard so many good things about. And yeah, again, we're buddy reading. You know where the Discord is. I've said it enough times. check it out if you want to join us. Okay, yeah, very excited because it's a dystopian series, and I love my dystopians when they are done well. I've come across some duds, unfortunately, but I've also come across some amazing dystopians. So I'm hoping the 2 that I read in 2025 are just as amazing. The next book on my series on my SAS list, which is series number 17, and also 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th one in my 6 to 7 range, is arguably the one I am the most excited for. I'm excited for all of these, but this one, I've had such FOMO with this series because I couldn't find it on audiobook in my country, and then I finally found it on audiobook in my country, and I'm so happy, legally, of course, because I wouldn't go any other route. But yeah, I found a company that legally has the authority to allow Australians to listen to it on audiobook, and I am so excited. I can't overstate that, so let's say it again. I am so excited that I get to consume this series. I'm not gonna cry. It is a year-round Christmas mystery series by Vicky Delaney. Oh my gosh. It is geo-blocked for Australians on Audible, in case you didn't know. It is geo-blocked on, what is this script called now? Everand. But I finally found it on another one where it is not geo-blocked and there is permission for Australians to consume this series. And oh my gosh, a year-round Christmas series? Are you kidding me? I finally get to read it, and I'm trying not to cry, but I am so emotional about this series. I'm so happy I finally get to read it. I think book 1 is called God Rest Ye Murdered Gentlemen, and I just cannot wait. And the final section is my massive series section. These are series that contain more than whatever the last one was, 7 books that I need to get through, and there are 3? Yes, 3 series, which will bring my grand total to 20 on my SAS list. So the first one is the Coffee House Mystery Series. I am going to be, by Cleo Coyle. Cozy Mystery. I am going to be starting with book number 13, and I want to get up to date. I am determined to get up to date. And the reason for this is, again, Audible suddenly has started geo-blocking, and at the moment they have, from where I'm up to, the next available audiobook is books 20 and 21, and it just really annoys me that 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 are not available to listen to on Audible if you're Australian. That annoys me. But on this other website, it is not geo-blocked. So yay, I'm going to get up to date because for some reason Audible does allow the 2 most recent ones to still be there. So if I'm up to date, I will no longer experience this issue. But I love this series. Cannot wait. Next up in the massive section is another buddy read that I'm doing. Have I said all the buddy reads? I have, except for this one. Yay! It is the Country Store Mystery Series by Maddie Day. Had something there for a second, but by Maddie Day, I freaking, F-R-E-A-K-I-N-G, freaking loved Flipped for Murder, and can't believe it has taken me this long to finally continue on. My dear friend Jane and I are going to be hosting the buddy read over on the Discord for this one, so please, again, you know where the links are. Come and join us if you want. We are starting with book number 2. So yes, because I've already read book 1. So if you want to join us, then just read Flipped for Murder and book 2 in January. And yeah, you'll be up to date with us. So very excited about that too. Oh my goodness. I'm laughing here because of the way I wrote this down on my digitized version. The next series that is on the massive series list for me is the Millie Cruise Ship Cozy Mystery Series by Hope. I said that the wrong way around. So Cope, but that's wrong. It is Hope Callahan. And I'll be starting from book number 6. The reason I'm laughing is because the way I wrote it is Cruise Ship Mystery Series, open bracket, Old Lady Love Boat, close bracket. I don't know why I wrote Old Lady Love Boat there. But yeah, I mean, if you can imagine the Love Boat and Golden Girls coming together in one, you basically got Millie Cruise Ship. But yeah, Old Lady Love Boat. There you go, Hope Callahan. That's one way to promote the series. I have read the first 5 books in this series. I will be reading from book 6 onwards with the plan to get up to date, which currently the most recent book in that series is book number 24. So yeah, that is a massive undertaking, but I can do it because this year, see that massive box set right there? That is the famous 5 series, 21 books in that series, and I did it. I got through it this year. So I can do it with the Millie cruise ship, but that is every single series on my 2025 SAS list. And let me tell you, my 2025 TBR is full. I plan my TBRs a year in advance. I know some people probably think I shouldn't, but I do. It just there are many reasons that if you want a dedicated video on that, I'll give them to you. Just let me know in the comments below. I'll do a whole video where I have more time. But yeah, I plan them in advance, and my 2025 is completely full. So, yeah, I mean, I hope I don't come across any other gems because, I mean, how do you squeeze more into something that's already jam-packed? I think for the first, 6 months of the year, I'm reading 13 books, which is a lot for me. So, I mean, and I think for the rest, the next 6 months, I'm reading 12. And yet, I'm constantly coming across books where it's like, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. So, anyway. Coming up on the channel, I have my final 2 favourites and non-favourites videos, which will be my goals for 2025. Do I have goals? Yes, I do. They're interesting for next year, I'll tell you that much. And also my 2024 goals wrap up. So going back to see what I set for myself at the beginning of this year and how I did with that. And then that will be the end of the favourites and non-favourites, because the next video after that will be my January TBR video. So this is the last video that you're seeing before Christmas or on Christmas Day, depending upon where you are in the world at the time that it's come out. So I just want to take this opportunity to wish you all a very merry, jolly, and safe Christmas. I say at the end of every single video, please do be kind, love one another, and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. I think that if you're going to do that one day a year, I would say please do it on Christmas Day. Please do be safe, but please do, show and offer kindness to everyone, okay? Please be kind, love each other. There is really, I understand that, we get angry and things happen that disappoint us, but on Christmas Day, my mum always had this rule, and I love it, and I'm passing it on to everyone else, and I affectionately refer to my mum here and on the Discord as Mama Francy. She had this rule on Christmas Day, which was, it's Christmas Day, no fighting. And we always stuck to that. So yeah, I would implore you to do the same. It's Christmas Day. Just try and enjoy the day. If you see anyone who is being left out or anyone that's in a bad mood or whatever, just try and assist them if you can. It really doesn't cost anything, but a little bit of time to just check in, how are you doing? How's your day going? Is there anything I can get you? Just politeness and niceness, as I always say, peace, blessings, love, all those things, be kind, love one another, spread your sparkling energy. And, never is that more important than on Christmas Day, because Christmas is a wonderful time, absolutely. But there are people out there who have really horrible Christmas days. But I do feel that if we inject some positive energy into them, that it can make all the difference in the world. Even if it is something as small as a smile that you give someone who appears to be down, it can make a world of difference to them, even if they're not showing it to you. But that is it. A very, very, very Merry Christmas to all of you, and I will see you after Christmas. Letting you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind and love one another. Spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading. Merry Christmas. Big love and cuddles to you all. See you soon. Bye.